Okay, has this been happening to you? Apparently things change after 60, but at 67, it seems like my hair, parts of my personality, my skin on my body, it's not behaving itself. It's sending me signals and trying to tell me, hey, ready for the next phase? You're ready for this now? You got used to that and now you're ready for this? Well, I'm going to go over some of it. And I know that we talk a lot about beauty and skincare, but also it's for wrinkles and giggles. So you get where I'm going. But let's go over 5 things that I recently have been talking to friends and sisters about and that I've noticed. Maybe you've noticed them earlier or later, but let's go over it. Let's get started. Okay, like I said, I've been making a list of some things because not only do I forget now, but things are happening. And I thought, it's a very interesting topic at a certain age. Now, we've seen other people go through it, we've seen our parents go through it, but you just laugh and you think, I'm not going to go through that. So the first thing was my hair. Now, maybe that's been happening to most of you too, but my hair is a whole different entity in itself. Waking up, it's all over the place, which it never used to be. Trying to curl it, it stays wavy like that new style for about 30 minutes or just long enough to get to my location, only to look in the mirror hours later and it's straight as a bone. To have hairspray not seem to work very much, no matter how expensive it is. So you probably see a lot of different hair when I come on here, and some of it just looks drastic. That's because I haven't noticed how much the hairspray has weighted it down and and the curls have turned to mush. So it's the hair. And I think that maybe some of you have gotten through that. And maybe that's why a lot of us, especially women and men, will cut our hair short, cut it completely off. And of course, some men shave it. But it's because the hair no longer wants to behave with us and acting strangely all over the place. So, the one thing that was on top of my list was the hair. Don't know what to do with it. I've gone extremely short and this length, but this morning it looked all different. It looked rather lively. Now it looks rather dull and a slight little crimp down here. I try to go with the flow. Also thinking maybe I should just keep growing it so I can put it in a ponytail most of the days. I don't know. But I suppose that is something that happens to the best of us. Another thing about hair is nobody told me, or maybe I refused to listen, that you really don't grow hair on other parts of your body anymore. In fact, someone should have told me because I went to the doctor one time, and that was a few years ago, so definitely over 60, and said, Doctor, I think there's something extremely wrong with me. I mean, I kid you not. I said, there's no hair on my legs anymore. I don't have to shave. I used to shave my underarms every day. There's no hair there. And in other places, the hair is disappearing as fast as I'm speaking. And he looked at me, and he was rather young, maybe 37, 38, and did somewhat of a smile and said, well, you are over 60, and that happens. And if your legs feel fine, and I think you look like you're healthy, we can do blood workup, but that happens. Oh, so I'm not dying. He chuckled and said, well, we'll start with some blood workup, but yes, that happens and you're okay. Huh, who would have thought? Well, anyway, that is the hair problem I'm having, or lack of. The second one on my list is skin is a whole new dimension. Now, I'm an esthetician. I paid a lot of attention to my face. I knew that clients used to joke about their body. My own mother joked about her body and would look at her arms and the bat wings. I was pretty much ready for that. Maybe not as much as I thought, but something else was happening. Even though I'm an esthetician and I like body creams too, the hair on my, not hair, I'm talking about hair again, but the wrinkles on my arms or the lack of fat in the arms is happening fast. And the other day when I turned my arm out of the corner of my eye, I thought I had put a bracelet up here, and I did not. But it was a new couple of wrinkles and on this forearm, and it wasn't a bracelet at all. So, and it looks completely dehydrated. So, even my avocado oil and some of the moisturizers don't seem to be working. So, I'm thinking maybe lack of total estrogen, which I thought I didn't have any anyway. So, I'll let you know what I figure out about that. But as an esthetician, I feel like I want to figure it out. And I think this might just be the new me, kind of extra wrinkly. I grew up in the sun and didn't protect my arms for a very long time. But it's having a mind of its own, and especially the top of my legs. Has that happened to you? When my clients used to tell me about certain things that they couldn't wear, or they'd have to wear long pants and cover up everything, I used to laugh and giggle. And, we had fun in my facial room because I had so many, especially women come through, but men too. And we would talk about aging. And I used to laugh in my 40s and somewhat laugh in my 50s, but in the 60s is where I'm really understanding. It's a whole new thing. And forget about those super magnifying mirrors. Let those go. I did tell my clients, never get those. It's just too daunting to look in that, especially with your face. But, keep trying to moisturize, get all of that nice moisture in, and drink a lot of water. And all of that seems to help a little bit more. But let me tell you, this month especially, I've noticed. So if I find anything out, I'll let you know. The third one on my list is something I did talk about that I thought, when I retire, I want to learn how to nap and not feel guilty about it. I think I've talked about this before. So it's happened. Well, I do nap now, but kind of still secretly, kind of feeling a little guilty, a little, I would say. I tend to make an excuse to go up the stairs into my guest room and tell my significant other, hey, I'm just going to go up there and do some work on the computer. And I put the TV on and get my series on, get my little blanket. I make an event. Like, I am ready. It's no longer just napping, it's like a spa moment. And so I find myself sleeping in that deep sleep and not really seeing a lot of the TV and really enjoying it. But when I wake up, I kind of think, oh, that was so nice. I can't wait to go to bed tonight. And then I think, who am I? This just started happening in my late 60s. So I'm not sure if you've already caught on to napping. If you have, congratulations. But I find that it's fascinating. I feel like it does give me energy to go for the rest of the day, but I catch myself thinking, wow, I can't wait to go to sleep tonight and get that same luscious feeling. So that is something I've noticed in my late 60s. And number 4. Yes, it started some time ago, but more so in the late 60s. I'm getting to things like way too early. So, is that happening to you? Because I catch myself going so early in case of traffic, which again, my clients coming through the facial room used to tell me, I'm early. And I'm like, but you're like a half hour early. Do you know what time your appointment is? Because I still have somebody in my room. They'd say, no, I just got here early because in case of traffic, don't worry, honey. I'll just be sitting over here. And I used to giggle and think, oh my goodness, that is so silly. Well, I caught myself in the parking lot at the dermatologist's office the same amount of time. I think about 25 minutes early, and I was too embarrassed to go inside. So I was in the parking lot for a while, but then I went in and I realized going there that when the receptionist told me I have to wait a while, everyone's so early for their appointments, and you're early too. I looked around and it was all of us older people in the 60s and 70s. We're all there a half hour early, 20 minutes early. So at least we're in good company. And at least we don't have anxiety about being late, right? We finally learn it in our 60s and 70s, never to be late. But I have to chuckle. My significant other, he always goes maybe 45 minutes early to a doctor's office. And I think, okay, he's gone overboard. But he always goes up and says, I'm super early. I hope the doctor can take me early. And more times than not, they say, of course, we're glad you're early. And they take him early. I never thought that would work. So try that next time. So another one, number 5, the one that I've been talking with my sister about and friends, that traveling has become different. Now, I've traveled in my early 60s. I think at 65 I wasn't feeling this. So really, it probably started around 66 or pretty recent because I'm 67. And traveling is giving me a little anxiety. Traveling alone. I think, wow, I have to look for someone to help me with the overhead with my carry-on suitcase. So maybe I shouldn't do that anymore because someday there's not going to be anybody there to help, or is it fair to help? I worry about getting to the airport on time. I've read about it a lot. I go over and over in my head. When should I leave? Should I step into that door exactly 2 hours early? Maybe 3. Better yet, should I just stay at the airport all night or stay at a hotel close to the airport? What? Also check my license or passport about 100 times to make sure I have it. God forbid that I get stuck there without identification or it drops out of my purse, right? You keep opening up your purse, looking for everything. Do I have my phone? Is it going to get lost? Do I have this? Do I have that? And it has become a big thing. When should I go use the ladies' room before getting on the airplane? Did I pick the right seat so that if it is a 2-hour flight or more, I can get up and go use the restroom with ease? Don't get it in the back of you. You'll never see the line and you don't know when to get up. Get it in the front. I think about all of these things. And of course, packing. I start about a month ahead of time, collecting in my thoughts what outfits. I'm not even a fashionista, but I tend to want to be one when I go on vacation. What's that about? And I therefore lay out all my outfits and I'm pretty much packed up 2 weeks before. That's right, in the suitcase closed. I think that started happening for sure. What about having a container all for medication, not medication you have to take every day, but in case you get a cold, in case you get a headache, in case you get a thorn in your finger, in case you need Band-Aids, in case you have a toothache, in case you get an eye infection. I have a big bag as if I'm going to be in the forest for a year with nothing available to me, just in case. And I'm going to a city that I could go to the market and easily get something at the drugstore. But I tend to carry just in case stuff, just in case. Now, has it come in handy? Yes. But I'm thinking I'm getting out of hand. Pretty soon, it's going to take my whole entire suitcase for just in case. Yeah. Goodness forbid we ran out of underwear. Just saying. Socks. All of that, it gets to be a ridiculous level. So traveling, and I've got 2 trips coming up, so I'm already fretting. Has that happened to you? If this or anything has happened to you in the 60s that just bewilders you or that you want to talk about, let me know. I'll talk about it here. I've already started getting my list for some things more because this world may be getting crazy. Am I getting crazy? I think this happens, but I guess it is what it is. You know what? I try to look at it as if you have a sense of humor about it and other people are going through it too, it helps. And we're certainly becoming interesting. And it's better than just staying home. And like that song that I said, don't let the old man in. It's a song. And are we ready to just not go anywhere? No, I still have a lot of life in me and I'll get through it. I might be spending the night at the airport, but I'll be there. And that's okay. Thank you for liking and subscribing Wrinkles and Giggles. And we're so glad you're here. And come back for more videos. Bye.